Come put two hands on a DJ boot, then wind your waist on a real good loot, then you want send to your ex, which one? You want friends of success, which one? Tell the sound man spin this one, play this for the goddamn party done.
God forbid a girl's trying to have fun. I got X if you wanna take drugs. Do you wanna have sex or do you wanna make love? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Got a fairy thing and I got a which one? A cheat up thing that I bring sticks round and I got a good girl, switch one. Too many gal now I gotta switch one. Turn the hotel to a 20-week one. 360 my head got spun. Junk in the trunk can't see it from front. Got your body is tea, it's pain, I'm sprung. Your backside weighing you down 1 ton. I got a chopstick for your 1 ton. Tell me what you want, what you really want. Put a coin in the slot, you just hit jackpot.
Hey, all the girls that's here for the truth, come put two hands on the DJ boot, then wind your waist for the 6 side you put your head in on the pillow face first. Face first, face first, face first. Hey, face first, face first. Put your head in on the pillow face first. I'm in the jam with the man them birds. You got makeup on a white shirt. I wanna fuck out your face and skirt. You need to throw that thing in the reverse. Then work. Yeah, work. Your last man broke your heart and it hurts. You could cry out, yeah, and curse. You want diamond watch, you want purse. You don't need swimsuit, take off your shirt. Bend your back, girl, don't say a word. Face of an angel, come like church. I can't wait, girl, I'm not a waiter. But you're sexy, I still get served. I'm at the club, just a London burst. Put your head in the pillow face first. Yeah, all the girls that's here for the truth, come put two hands on the DJ boot, then wind your waist for the 6 side you, then you want Sancha, your ex, which one? You want friends of success, which one? Tell the sound man spin this one, play this for the goddamn party done.
All right, let's get this party started. Yo, get that water bottle out of there. Yo, we're live. How's everybody doing? How are we doing? How are we looking? Hair's fucking rough. I got the tank top on as usual. Per usual. Where's the chat at? Oh, there it is. Alright, there it is. What's good? How's everybody doing? Yeah, a lot of movement this week. It's Tuesday. I've had a pretty good week so far, to say the least. On one account, I've been flipping. Little flip account. If you follow me on Instagram, you might even see the process. I just closed out like a trade that I had. Some buys. It's one of those weeks where I just want to make some money. It's good money on the market. Trying to flip this account. It's at 8,200 now. I was at 3,600. This is why I like gold. I mean, 2 good clean days could make your week. Like you have one clean. Like gold moves a lot, right? Gold moves a lot. This is some of the trades that I was in. Some of the moments like. You don't need tens, 20, thousands of dollars. Like, obviously I have like 4,000 in here. It was at 36. Well, it was at 3,300. And then I took an L. And it went to like 26, 2,800. So I brought it from like 3,300 down. Up to this balance. So I went from like 2,000 something, like just under 3K, brought it back up to 3K, and then I went to 4K, 4,400. So I started, because I was in some early buys when the market opened, and I was like, nah, this thing's going to go down more, I'm going to close these. And it's a good thing I closed, because it kept going down more, and I was like, all right, took the L. Let the market reset. Like I was like right here. I think I was in a buy like already. like here. And I was like, yo, this thing's gonna drop. And I got out. Like, I got out. And there's moments like that where it's like accepting an L quicker can be actually useful for your trading, because, like, you know, you don't want to take a bigger L than you were supposed to, or hold a trade longer than you're supposed to. But like 1-2, this is why I like gold. 1-2 clean days of movement in the week, where the week, like this week, just started kind of pushing up really strong. And here you can see balance going forward. So it's like here, and then it goes from here, and then we got this, and this, and then this. So there's different trades different moves I was catching. It was like three particular like setups. Had this, so it's like the same account growing. I gotta get the other. I think I have like one more screenshot before this one. Yeah, I took some L's, and then yeah, I took a couple L's, and then I started trading again. There was some clean setups, so there was like 3 clean setups this week. This is one of the trades. I broke down one of the trades that I caught yesterday at 4,075. You can see a process here of growing literally in like 22 market days. Now at this point, it's not like I have to aggressively try to continue, because it's like, okay, it's Tuesday, and it's like gold can provide. This is where some of you guys might be losing your flips or losing your profits. Is you have 1-2 good days, really good days, and you try to go 3-4 days in a row at the same pace. When you have like a good 1-2 day like this, you want to reset, take a step back, even withdraw. Like I might withdraw 7K and leave 1K in there, just on the side, in case. Never know. Well, like where some of you guys might be plateauing, call it like plateauing when you're making money, or you know you have one good day, you have a solid day or a solid 2 days, is maybe trying to push for that third day at the same pace, or maybe that third day you start to scale. You don't need to even scale. Like you could keep the trades relatively the same. When I'm growing an account, I get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm willing to hold trades maybe a bit longer, because in the beginning I want to try to grow it, get that profit. So it's like, okay, maybe I'm willing to hold some trades longer now that I've grown the balance, like these ones here. There's some more entries around, like see these 4,111, 4,111, 16, 4,110. There's more at that price, like around here. I think there's, because these are the biggest ones. It's at the top, but there's more. And like look at the move. Like gold, 1-2 clean days can make your week. Look at the movement there. Look how many pips I'm catching. I caught 400 pips on that. $40 trade. Small lot sizes. Like look at the lot sizes I'm using for this account growth too. Like, oh yeah, look at the lot sizes. Obviously scale, like spreading. I'm finding zones, areas. I'm entering in areas. So I'm entering in areas. I'm not just entering at one price. I'm spreading my entries out in areas. So like this was the 4,075 area in New York session here. Down here. So it was in this area. That first trade, this one here, 4,000. You can see the entries are scattered between 4,080, 4,073. I think is the low. Yeah, 4,073 is the lowest. 4,076 spread out. even those movements, like price. I ended up holding this to like 4,100. I think about 4,100 ish. A bit higher. I held this a bit higher because after I took this screenshot, it pushed up even more. It went to like 93, 94, 95. I think it went to 96, and then it pulled back a bit. And then it went up, broke $4,100. It ended up breaking $4,100. That was a key level. Like I was on yesterday and I explained like $4,100 is going to be a key level this week. We broke right through it. We tried to pull back to 4,100 this morning. It hit 4,110, right? Hit 4,110. Telling you, you could have a price in mind, and the market will do that. Like you could be trying to buy at 4,100, and trust me, with gold, it will come to 4,105 or 4,110. It's still like trying to be patient for that lower price. Like you want 4,100 for buys. The market's giving 4,110. It's still like even trying to just be patient for the market coming closer to that. I think it traded in this candlestick. If you're on my inner circle session, last night's inner circle session, I went over the chart and I said like last night's session was pretty on point. I even talked about that candle. It pretty much like held my zone. It went below. That's it, reaching for that candle there. When you have a candle like this that breaks out of a key level, there's an imbalance in that candle, the way it moves, right? This candlestick, you can see the imbalance on whether it's the 1 hour, the 30-minute, even the 15-minute down in there. But when you're on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, that type of candle, where it is, like where that candle is important, because it's like, okay, it's at a resistance level, $4,100. So where and how it moves is important to the market. Like it ends up creating an imbalance. It's a strong candle. The market wants to go back to that candle. Like candles like this, the market's gonna try to find, especially when they break out of a key area and like where prices. We just tapped 4,150, and this is good. This is why it's good to like see even like 4,150 is creating that strong resistance right now. We have some strong resistance at 4,155. You can create a nice like $5 area there. 4,155, 4,150 area. It's creating some strong resistance. But we still have a range here with price. We still have this range with price. So there's some there's some nice bearish moves happening at 4,150. It could try to come back down. It could still maintain 4,100 though. It could maybe even try to come back to 4,100. Another thing I could honestly see now that there's multiple touches at 4,150. We've touched 4,150 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. So we actually have resistance there. I like to say 4 or more. 4 or more, you can start to think in these types of terms of a breakout continuation when you have multiple touches at one level. That's when you can start to forward think and be like, okay, possibly the market could break above this for a continuation. If you're looking for bullish scenarios, we could still try to revisit 4,100, maybe the lower 4,100s. Like it came to 4,110 this morning, late last night, and then this morning came to 4,110. It could still try to maintain, maybe even dive back to that, but right now it's like forming a range above that. Maybe there is, if knowing gold, like a lot of times it can just continue with momentum. That would be maybe a setup for continuation. But yeah, like I was saying, the lot sizes, like look at some of these lot sizes. For example, here you go. This is when the account was at 5,300. Was able to take it to 6K pretty much, like in this movement. I figured here it was gonna break 4,100. So this is like me understanding gold trading price action. You can see I caught the break above $4,100, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna. It was a time where I was recognizing because you could see some entries go higher at 99. So I was like, it was a time like in the day where when I was on the chart, the momentum looked like it was building up to break $4,100. Like if you were watching gold yesterday when it was breaking $4,100, like you might have seen some candles like on the 1530 that just started kind of kicking fast, and it was like one of those moments where I was like, "Yo, this thing looks like it's gonna get ready to break out of $4,100." Maybe like a harder style to teach because it's like bit of a harder style to teach because it's kind of like just having that second sense, knowing there's a breakout about to happen at a key level. Not really something I teach, but there's different ways to catch moves, as you can see. This is between, you can see the prices there, 4,095, 4,100 area, pretty much inside of there. Pretty much there, price was maintaining, like holding more into like a holding pattern, right? And in my mind, I was thinking before that, like price could possibly break $4,100 because we've had multiple touches there. So the more times you touch something, the weaker essentially it's going to become, right? Like it's like, see this support here? See how many times this support level touched? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then it has this huge breakout. Maybe even we can extend it and there's more than one more touch there. So like here you see this resistance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, clean breakout. Like you're getting, and we could even extend it and maybe say 1 or 2 more touches on top of that as well, right? So here, boom, 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 boom. Four touches, you could maybe say 5, right? Want to add 1 or 2 more there, you can see like multiple reactions. And eventually you get that breakout. This is common for gold, whether it's a support or a resistance. So if the market has momentum one way, if the market has demand and momentum is trading to a certain side, and these types of patterns form, like you get a lot of touches, like we're getting right now. We have these touches here. We're getting multiple touches now at this resistance. So it's a level that could break out because of that. The fact that it has now like 4 touches there, and the price is strong, it could potentially break out of that level, right? Crazy. Yo, there's a crazy I gotta confirm this before I want to show it. I want to jump on. I message this person. Maybe we can jump on a call. There's a crazy testimonial today that came out the inner circle, like crazy. I gotta confirm it. Crazy. Where's he at? Where is he at? Holy, I got a lot of messages, bro. What the fudge? Oh yeah, Jose. I don't know if Jose's on the call, yo. Oh, I need weeks like this where I kind of, I need weeks like this where I just trade. Remember, I'm a trader. Trading's a job. I know sending signals is a job too. Trust me, sending signals is a job. It's not just like, that's why there's some people who just send like 1 a week or 2 a week. When you're sending like signals every day or every other day, it's like a full-time job, So I need weeks sometimes for myself where I just lock in so I can share these experiences, make my money. Boom, 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 be a trader. Trust me, it's better for the long-term experience. That's why the inner circle is lifetime access, fam. It's lifetime access. There's a lot to learn. We got 2026 around the corner. Jose, yo, where's Jose? I don't know if Jose's in here, but yo, Jose messaged me today. When did this guy join the inner circle? I think he joined in October. Oh yeah, he joined in October. Yeah, so he yeah, Jose joined in October, like October 15th. So like crazy testimonial this guy sent me today. Um he sent me a damn like a minute, and it was a minute and 33-second voice message. So it's long. It's a long message he sent me. But let me read some of it. It's crazy. Crazy, like a crazy testimonial today. Insane, from the inner circle. He said, I put over $100, so $100 in my trading account, bro, and was able to flip that to over $10,000. So he put $100, a bit over $100, and I was able to flip that. It's different when you're hearing it on the voice message. I'm reading the it's got a transcript here. And was able to flip that to over $10,000. I still got 2 runners right now from 4,043. From 4,043. Bro's been holding. So he messaged me this morning at 11:30. So he has like trades from 4,043. Like in 48 hours. I'm like, I'm personally like $100. I think he did in the last 48 hours. Yeah, since market open. It's a big message. He's like, bro, God bless you. It's only taken 48 hours. Thank you for everything. God bless you, sir. Like all the knowledge, this, and that. But he had like an experience before this. Crazy. He messaged me on Friday saying he had a great week starting off in the markets. He took 7,200 from the markets until Wednesday, but unfortunately blew one $500 account and chased everything. So this guy was able, I think he was able to go from 500 to 7,200, but then blew it. And then this week bangs $100 to 10,000. This is like a crazy. I was like, what the $100 to $10,000. $100 to $10,000. I told him to post it in Discord because I'm like, I gotta see this. I gotta see it. I'm like, I gotta see this. I don't know if maybe he did. I don't know if he did. But I'm like, I gotta see this. Pretty crazy. I gotta see this. Or I told him maybe school. This is this morning. I'm gonna jump on call. I gotta verify this, yo. That's crazy though. Bro caught buys at from here. In the message, he said I was buying gold, able to. He said still has 2 runners open. That was this morning at like 11:30. So when price was like here. $100. Yeah. Saw that it's on Discord. I think yeah. Did he post it? There he is. Wait, is that him? Oh yeah, it's right there. Yo, that's crazy. I just saw it. Holy, that's insane. I think oh, Pippin dip there. I was looking in Gold Squad or something. Let me see. Balance, profit. This is wait. This is what he's at right now. Like, morning family. I flipped an account. I put 100 in yesterday. From 100 Sunday to 10K. What the fuck? Yo, I'm gonna tell him withdraw. Yo, fam, withdraw some of that, yo. Or come back next week. Come back next week. Yeah, like, you know, it's like, so I mean, damn, I could have, if I went balls to the walls, this flip could have been pretty insane, you know. But this is pretty, like, I would say conservatively flipping an account right here. Jose went maybe, I don't know, $100 to 10K. the right timing, right trades, right decisions, the right risk. $100 could be at risk when you're trying. The $100 could be at risk when you're trying to do something like that. If you're flipping $100, but there can be the greater reward, even if it's $100 to 1K, even if it's $100 to $500. It's still all very possible. Like most people want to get into trading because they want to make 6 figures, obviously, or they want to make 5 figures, multiple 5 figures, right? Your goal doesn't even have to be like to be a 6-figure trader or get to 6 figures. Like if you can learn how to risk properly and take the right setups, you could put $100 in an account. Who knows? You could take it to 500 in a week, 1,000 in a week. It doesn't have to be going from 100 to 6 figures or 100 to 10,000 even with trading. Like when you have the proper knowledge, the proper information, the proper skill, if you have the right person fucking in your ear all the time too, right? He joined the inner circle. He's in the inner circle. That's why his name's Red. If you're taking the right setups and you define your risk, you define what risk is for you, and you know how much you're going to be operating that risk, right? And you're taking the right trade setups, the probability is there, right? The probability will be there, okay? It will be there. And whether it's like putting $100 in an account once a week, you could still find gains, right? This person went from $100 to 10K. Like, we could talk about going from 100 to 500 in a week. As a beginner trader, that is good. If you're let's say you're starting with $100 and you're growing the account to 500 or 300 or 400 in your week, or at some point in your week. It could happen in a day, it could happen in 2 days. All it takes with gold, realistically, like part of this session was about like trying to show you guys like the right day 2 in the week can make your week. It doesn't have to be trading every day. It's like, boom, I had 2 really good days in the week. Let me keep that as my week, basically. And whatever you made in that is whatever you made. That's your week, essentially, as a trader. It's like you have 2 really good days in the market. You make whatever it is in those 2 days. That's how you could classify your week at times, where it's like, okay, in 2 days I made $500. That's my week. That's, think about it. Most of us, what do? We go to work. We trade our time for money, right? We trade time for money. Whether it's a 9-to-5 or a career or a part-time job or a full-time career that many of you may have. In trading, you want to value your time and look at the money in the sense of how long did it take you to do it, right? 2 good days could make that week, right? And I'm just talking about in reference to when I first started trading, I was only making like $2,000 a month at my job, right? Nowadays, I can print $2,000 in a good day, $3,000 in a good day. So it's like the time I'm spending to get what I used to get is very minimal in a sense. So it's like if you can spend 1-2 good days to get $200, $300, a couple $100, you got to look at that versus how much longer it usually takes you to maybe get that money elsewhere. Whether it's from a career, whether it's from your side hustles, whether it's from a part-time job, whether it's from on a bank account that grows interest, right? Right? It could be a savings account that grows interest. That's depending on how much money you have. You're not going to get that much money from a savings account, depending on how much money you have. I mean, if you put $50,000 to $100,000 or multiple 6 figures or $1 million into an account that grows interest, yeah, there's a difference there. But if you have a couple $1,000s in a savings account, you'll get enough money at the end of the year to maybe be able to go to McDonald's and buy something, right? You could maybe get the Happy Meal toy, one of those like Happy Meal combos, maybe something like that at the end of the year. So it's like, who are you up against? Who are you trying to outperform as well? What lane are you in life? Sometimes it's looking at it like that. Like, you don't need a lot of money if you have the right knowledge and skill set, is the point I'm getting to beat the banks or beat your job in a way with the time, right? With the time you spend there, you spend 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week at your job. stuff like that. If I can get 1-2 good days in the market, maybe I can subtract some of that time spent there in a way. It's like, okay, I made $200 in one day. That might take hours, days to get that $200 elsewhere, right? Maybe a week for some people, or a month for some people in some cases, right? We have people who live in countries that only make an average of $200 a month, 250, 300, some of these, right? And that's decent in some countries out there. So you got to think of your time. You got to value your time. You got to think, like, what are we doing as traders? We're trading. Who trades? Banks trade, traders trade, hedge funds trade, institutions trade, right? Central banks. So if we could beat them, or if we could beat the banks, you're doing a good job. It's, So whether it's 1K to 10K or 100 to, whether it's $1,000 to $2,000 or $100 to $200 or $100 to 10K, the skill set. Yo, look what he said. The bro. That training, those 2 trainings I did. See, he was locked in. He locked in. There's those 2 trainings that I did. He locked in on those quarters. He just locked in on the quarters. I bet bro just locked in on every single quarter. He just locked in on the quarter levels. Like, locked in since market opened. So he was buying at 4,050. He probably bought at 4,075. He just locked in on the quarters. He bought here. He probably bought here. So he literally probably took, he took the same trade I took on my own. Look at that. That's when you teach a student to do the same thing you do. Like, he literally locked in on the quarters. He probably took the same trades I took on my own. That's when the student starts trading. Like, look at that. That's inner game right there. He locked in on the quarters. Like, if you look at his message, he said, like, only took trades at all the quarter levels. And we talked about that in the training. We talked, like, how that's what I was going over the last couple of days, like, how they work. So he just locked in on those quarters. Like, he focused on them. And, like, this week, like, that's the thing. This is one of those weeks where it's like, damn, like, this should be probably at like 15 to 20K right now if I traded as risky as I usually trade. Like, I didn't put a lot of trades. Like, it looks like a lot, but normally, like these are 005s. Some small ones. Like, I didn't put a lot of trades, like I did last week, on even the past couple weeks on some positions. Like, look at here. Like, usually, like here, for example, like, that's pretty conservative for me. Sometimes I'll have like 10 or 15, 12 different entries. So it could have been like a bigger flip, but I can recognize when opportunity is there in the week and learn how to appreciate it more over my years of trading. And I can look at the market and be like, okay, I was able to do this. The market provided some opportunity. Let's not get ahead of myself, because this could have been, from my experience, this could have been huge. This could have been like way bigger, like if I put on more risk. And it doesn't need to be like that. But there's sometimes you got to look at the market and be like, yo, like, the last 2 days provided good opportunity. Let me not get too greedy, too rushy with trade setups. Because, yo, like, I'm telling you, 2 good days with gold can like make your week. Sometimes where you can just chill, and that's how you have that. That's how you keep your energy like consistent over time. When I say your energy, I mean like all your emotions that go with that. Is when you're able to take steps back and you're able to just like not over trade too. But it also takes being on it, because like it takes being on things. Like, obviously I was on the charts the last 2 days, but you know. Yeah, light flip so far. Light flip. Maybe waiting for one more setup this week. Last night, if you're in the inner circle, watch last night's session. I ran down like what I was gonna do with gold, I did run down like my plan. I even said like if it goes below, even if it goes below, I said my exact words was even if it goes below 4,125, I'll be looking for buys. Last night, I streamed early last night because I felt like I needed to. If I wanted to get this information. I streamed earlier last night, and I wanted to get the information like just out there earlier. That's why I just did a 1 hour stream straight to the point because I wanted to get that information just like out there. And I was like, yo, like I feel like I gotta look at this now. I'm like, if I look at it later, I want to get it out there, like, and I did say like what we ran through some training last night, went over some stuff, but I was saying like throughout the session last night what we're looking for. Like I was saying, okay, this we're either looking for this or even it could come below. Like I was saying, there's two things, right? I was saying we're gonna like look for the buy the dip, like because the market like when a day. So this daily candle yesterday, what yesterday's daily candle did provided like an opportunity for today. Like today's candle went up, right? There was a bit of a retracement on the daily. You had a strong daily candle yesterday. Today's candle provided an entry in there, like a pullback, a retracement in that. And this is something I was talking about yesterday. So you gotta like when a Monday starts like this, and like it's what price did too for me. It's like the Monday started strong and price broke these highs. I'm willing to bet that next pullback, like once there's a good enough pullback, I'm willing to bet whether it's pullback 1 or pullback 2 that it's gonna stick. Like there's gonna be a pullback entry in that daily candle. In a situation like yesterday. So it's like whether it's option A or option kind of B, like it's gonna make that move. And I know that like from experience in seeing gold time and time and just spending time and time on gold. That's why like if I pop up and stream, it's because I see something worth talking about. Like yesterday. Like, if I randomly just, like, pop up, it's like, yo, guys, there's something worth talking about here. And it's not always like that some weeks, some days. But there can be, like, a critical moment in the day or entering a week where it's like, yo, price just moved like this. We got something to work with here, even just from reading the daily candle. And yesterday I was talking about the daily candle. Because it's a day of information, right? Like, it's a day of price action. So it tells us how concrete that day was. It can give us information on how the next day could go, realistically. Like when we're looking at a daily candle, right? It's a day of price action. It gives us valid information on, okay, how potentially the next day could trade, right? Like up here around 4,200, I think price actually went to 4,225, but it's like $4,200 there. And it does look like it went all the way up to 42.25. You can see that daily rejection candle that prints around between 42. Well, it closed pretty much at 4,200, right? Like it would have finished underneath 4,200. At some point though, that was a really green candlestick. Like at some point, this candle was super bullish, but it finishes there. It finishes under 4,200, right? The next day just dumps, right? It goes in that direction, right? So that's a moment where you have like a critical daily setup right there, just like like today, well yesterday today, because of like this candlestick. This candlestick gave me clear evidence that I knew like I wasn't guessing. Like I knew, I felt it. I was like, this is gonna go up. I talked about this on the stream last night, and even like yesterday. Like yesterday whenever I streamed in the daytime. This daily candle just gave me enough evidence to say there's gonna be some more demand, some continuation, right? We should get a bullish move. So looking for pullbacks, looking for those deep pullbacks, good retracements was like the angle with that being said. Okay, smash the like button, guys, if you guys are getting value, if you guys are learning. Type in the chat for me if you guys are understanding everything I'm going over so far today. I hope I'm not being confusing or anything. I hope you guys enjoy my TED Talk today. We're going over some key information though right now. Because like if the right daily candle prints, you can know what the next day is going to do. For example, here, what candlestick is this? I want to ask you guys because I know what it is. I was about to say it. What here? Yeah, I got to start asking you guys questions now. That's it. 2026, I'm going to start asking you guys questions. So what candle is this? This one. You guys should know. Everyone, yeah, you guys should all know. That's an easy one. Honestly, that's an easy one. That's not even. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. You guys should know. You guys should know that one. Yeah. Well, there we got hammer, pin bar, right? So you look at this chart on the daily, there's even one more. There's another critical kind of daily shifting point. You have up here around the 4200, 4225, daily pushed up. It broke above 4225, but the daily managed to close below 4200 at that point. Next day, dumps. I just got a funny message. Sorry. You know, yeah, that was funny. My bad. Brain fart. Here you have this day, you know, closes how it closes. But like, look what the next day did at some point, right? The next day makes a huge continuation, right? It ended up going, like, the next day would have kind of wicked down maybe a bit. You can see there's a wick here. So the next day at one point was at like 4,055. The market went up to 4,131 here. So there was a big push in that day after this candlestick. And even like this red one in the middle, like, see, you have a red candlestick in the middle here. The next day does go down. So like daily shifting points, like you could literally trade the daily chart. I mean, there's not always going to be there's going to be points where price is just going up. Like here, price is just going up. So you have to wait for shifting points. That's the thing. Like the daily, you have to actually really wait for those shifting points, which in cases could take days or even up to like week or weeks. In some cases, depending on how price is moving, like this went up for days before price shifted on the daily up there. Then price went down for days before it shifted on the daily again. And then it went up a day. So like days of movement could provide a shifting point when it reaches maybe an overbought or even oversold level as well. Like let's say price is overbought as well, or maybe coming back to like lower oversold levels. Like imagine you're just waiting for daily shifting points and you're catching trades like this when the daily closes. You know, okay, tomorrow should go up, or okay, tomorrow should go down. At some point in there, like at some point today's candle was strong bullish. If you were looking at it maybe when it was up here on the daily, you would have seen like a strong bullish candle at some point. There was just like an easy, so that's like a sort of an easy continuation of yesterday's momentum, though the bullish moves today. But like this hammer pin bar example is a really, really good example of the market closing it's a significant candle close on the daily. That's high probability right there. Like high probability right there. Next day, the following day should go up. You want high probability, you wait for certain daily closes to appear that give you that signal that like it would have been harder in here when gold was just on like a rampage. It would have been like harder there because like it would have looked like sells if you were looking at the daily. See, like it would have been harder. We were just catching buys all, and then like I swear everyone was just catching buys. I was just bullish in there. It was like at the same time you got to be looking at other time frames too. Like, but here it would have been hard because it would have been sellers would have been getting wrecked in here. See, it would have been hard to sell gold. Like we were not even considering sell. We didn't. The word sell did not even enter our vocabulary. In that point, like sells we were only looking for buys. If anyone remembers, September through October up into November. Okay, we're making like some wave structure now, actually, like Elliott wave structure as well. Like when we're actually yeah, like interesting enough what the price is starting to do up here. Yeah, we're actually getting like some wave structure in here on gold building up, which is interesting. I can't see it on the weekly, but I can start to like it's interesting how price is developing up here with gold. This formation. Something's starting to build up, and I wonder how long it will take to build up. Like, what if price tries to like go down and still, you see, like what I mean? Something could be building up for a big like long-term breakout type of thing. I'm not saying price is just gonna crash, but like it's interesting what's forming here. Like imagine if we came down, we made like even like a structure there. This could be trying to form like waves, different wave structure to eventually break out and make a continuation. Even if it could over time, like depending on how this develops up here. 3,800, like 3,800, yeah, like 4,000 is a very psychological level. So below like think of like 4,000. You know how I teach you guys like $5 below, $10 below a key zone? Think about like this now, $4,000. your higher 3,000s, 3,800, 3,900, 3,700. Those are prices like the market would love to buy at, right? The market would love to buy at 3,700 gold now. that it's above 4K, or a $3,800 gold, or a $3,900 gold. The market would love that, right? We're forming some structure up here now, which is interesting when we look at it, because like we're above 4K. 4K is a very psychological level, so we can actually see some support being made there now. The market would love to buy at lower, or the 3,800, 3,700. The market would like love that, wouldn't it? Even that would still probably make a wave structure if it were to come down to things like that some point this year in 2026, right? Going into 2026. If gold ever crashes, right? Think about where it is now going into 2026. If it crashes to 4K or 3,900, 3,800, 3,700, those are prices the market would really want. Those are prices the market wants, in a way. I'm not saying it's just gonna come here now like this, but that would be like something interesting, like how this builds up, this top trend line and this bottom support now being formed. We already went below 4K. We did hit 3,800s, right? Which is interesting. And now price hit a peak here, and it's November, December season, so we can't expect. I don't think the market's gonna go on parabolic right now, down or up. I don't think there's gonna be like this type of momentum right now, like up. I think we just had that, right? We just had some up, right? I think that's gonna come going into middle 2026, like first quarter of the year, where we get some more up again. I don't think now it's like the brakes have paused a bit, like because like you had like up here and here, right? Price paused for a while before going up again, and then you had this up. So like a pause phase is sensible right now, because if let's go back to November, December. Here's November 2023, right here. November 2023. November 2023, right? 2024 is right there. Look at the price action between there. It pretty much stalled until February, March. And that was around the 2000. That was when gold was $2,000. So psychological level as well. So if you look at like November, December, that time there was oh yeah, I remember that drop. Holy, that was like some China thing. Oh, yo, there was like this China news. It was like 2 a.m. Yo, I remember that drop. That was a that was a crazy drop. That was a crazy drop. This was a time when sells on gold were much easier. There was way more balance of sellers. In 2022, 2023, I remember from trading, because I also sent signals those days. I would send more sell signals those days. There was a easier balance of sellers to buyers those days. But the market was just getting ready to go into a bull phase. You could see like how the price was kind of flat, like it wasn't parabolic, and then gold started a run there. Even like here, summer months slowed down kind of, and then towards the end of the year runs up. So if you look at November, December last year, it's pretty similar price action. Like it kind of looks like similar right now, like a high, this high, this high, this here. It's kind of looking similar to what last year did. But if you look, gold's either gonna, like if you look at the last 2 years, like gold exploded after February, March. Okay, like If you go back to 2023, going into 2024, price was pretty flat, and then you had this explosion. Okay? Boom. First, my screen. I'm gonna fix my screen today. It's been chopped. I don't know why. Oh yeah, you guys can't even see the dates. Yeah, I gotta fix my screen totally. There. So that's November 23, January 24. So going into 2024 year. You can see the price. So we might have a swing trade. We could our position trade, swing position trade, but not gonna come easy. But could take some time. Because look at what if gold stays flat for a couple months and then, March, April it's running. Look at November 2023, January 2024. It ran up until April, May, and then May, June, July started chopping. August, September runs. And then we get into November, December, November last year. So November 2024, right before 2025. Right there. So last year, quite aggressive. There was a phase the last 2 years, though, you can see between, so November, New Year. November, New Year. So November, New Year. After, you can obviously see how price went super parabolic the last 2 years. Both years, so they like to say sell in May, go away. There's a famous Wall Street saying, sell in May, go away. And you can see why. Price stalls in summer. This year, it stalled in the summer before running up. We just witnessed gold September, October. August, September, October. Crazy. Crazy. See, yeah, bro, use the quarters. So I'm thinking, try to let it. I don't know, in January, and then it just February, March, April bullish. February, March, April bullish. That's that seasonality. It's a strong seasonality for gold. So we could go back multiple years on the chart, not just 2 years. We could go back the last 20 years. Maybe we'll do that tonight, just for time's sake. What time is it? We could go back several years, and usually, 20, 30 years. You go back and study this data. Usually January, February, March has a strong season in it. If you look at the year before, where's January? It's not the last 2 years super parabolic like that, but you can obviously see price performed well in there. One sec. Bet. Yeah, if you look at the year before that, it's not it went just crazy rampage, but it had a stronger season in those months. Most of it was in There's February 24th. Most of it was March up until April. But like starting where price was January, it ended up coming back to where it started, and then it ran up. So it did have like a strong season in those months. Maybe not as strong as some years when you look back. Like you go, here's January right here, 2022. So you can see those months forward, right? We can see February, we can see March, leading up until March, and then it started crashing down. So you could see a strong season in there. You go back and look at this, you'll see it reflects. So I don't think it's November 25th, right? In a month it's Christmas. I don't think the next 30 days are gonna like rip up. Like we're probably gonna stay within a reasonable range in price. We'll probably stay within a reasonable range in price until January. Right? Maybe that range exists with what we got here so far, built up on price, like $4,000 being like the bottom part of the range, the lower part. Not saying price can't drop back in December. Like price could maybe go up. What if it drops in December and then we're going up into January? Like price could drop. Look what happened last year, right? Where's December? December's here. So where would we be right now? A year ago. A year ago, November 25th, right there. Damn. And like, yeah, like price chopped around. We got Thanksgiving this week. So maybe a bit lower volume, right? I think Thanksgiving Thursday. Lower volume maybe with that. So price went up last year, and you can see there was a big dip in December. There's volume in December. You can see there was a move up and then a strong move down. It tested basically the November low, the lowest point that November found, right? So we look at where's our lowest point now for November here, October, November. So far, this is like our lowest point. So can we come test that at some point in December? Maybe. We technically already just did test that range, right? There could be a big swing trade loading though, like for 2026 on gold. That's where I'm going to harness some of my energy. And, not try to overtrade. I want to, position for that. Because what if it takes multiple attempts? The holding time, maybe multiple attempts. Maybe blow an account or two. Trying to attempt it before catching the swing. Just some things I have in my mind. Preparation. So, that would be... some of what I'm thinking, like for gold, maybe going into 2026. Texas bought some Bitcoin. So what? So is that the first U.S. That's the first U.S. state, right, to buy, like as like a reserve, right? That's what we need. We need some good headlines at low prices. I think that's Texas buys dump. Texas buys Bitcoin. Dump it. More dump. It's like Texas buys Bitcoin. This buys Bitcoin. Everyone's buying Bitcoin. Dump, dump, dump. Well, on October 10th, October 11th, there was like this law that got passed as well. There was a law that... Let's pull it up. And a lot of us didn't even know about this. It was a lot of us didn't know about this. It was basically a quiet little thing that happened that forced a lot of liquidity out of the market. So the MSCI law, or whatever it is. I'm gonna pull something up here. Let's see what this says here, so we can get some context first here. Let's see. Yeah, we got cooked, crypto, because a lot of companies were, well, it's not a lot, but people are forced to sell. Like, I'm pretty sure MicroStrategy was forced to sell like 20% of their holdings. So it was like this new rule. What was it? A new rule that would remove companies from its global investable market indexes if 50% or more of their assets are held in digital assets such as Bitcoin. What's the dates? February 2026, and I saw something like January 2026. So I'm pretty sure this, yeah, this like law, yeah, this is like the new rule. This is like this rule. It removes companies from like things like the Nasdaq or something. Like if you're a public traded company on the Nasdaq, but more, you have more than 50% or more of your assets are held in digital assets like Bitcoin, then you don't qualify to be in that. So I think like strategy, apparently they're going after MicroStrategy with this. Here's an American Bitcoin Corp, some other things, miners, infrastructure firms. There's a lot of companies like right now. Public, let's see, public companies holding Bitcoin. There's a good amount right now. There's a lot, like just in the U.S. If we're looking at the U.S. stock market, there's a lot of a good amount of companies. There's like, this is just showing some of them, because I'm not. This is just like, I don't even have an account with this. If you sign up, it's like you could see all the data. This is just showing me, you know, see, log in to see. So I'm not even seeing all the data. Not logged in or anything. So like, there's a lot of public companies holding as like treasury or holding the digital assets. That's like Bitcoin, Ethereum mainly. United States, you have a lot like here. See. So I think that happened like October 10th, October 11th. This was some of it. Part of it, basically inception, the day of reckoning of our portfolios. So you can look into this to get way more context online or on x.com, Twitter. I don't know, I think I've been seeing like, you know, JP Morgan, people bashing JP Morgan and stuff like this. People are pissed, saying it's like they're coming at like MicroStrategy, Sailor's company. There's a lot going on with this. People trying to boycott. I think, what was it, Grant Cardone? Grant Cardone posted boycott Bank of America or Chase? JP Morgan, sorry, JP Morgan. People going to Wells Fargo now. If you can't fucking, it's like JP Morgan has bashed Bitcoin. If you can't beat Bitcoin, you gotta find a way to fuck. They gotta find a way to fuck everyone, you know. So yeah, I have it here. I'll pull one more thing up so you get more context here if you don't know what this is here. And then, yeah, we're going to wrap this session up in a little bit. Hopefully you guys got some value today. What's the next move for gold? We'll go over gold real quick before I get off. Let me see. I think I like the post here on... I think I like this post. Where's this post I think I found? Here, from Bull Theory here. The real reason behind October 10th crypto crash is finally out, and it's much bigger than what people thought. For weeks, traders kept asking the same question. Why did the market collapse so violently on October 10th when there was no macro event, no ETF news, no exchange failure, nothing? Now we have the missing pieces, and it explains a lot. So MSCI quietly dropped a major update. Quietly. That was whatever. Damn. My portfolio was loudly damaged. On the same evening the crash began, MSCI released a consultation note that almost nobody in crypto paid attention to. Said they were reviewing how to classify companies whose main business involves accumulating Bitcoin or digital assets. Key proposals. Like we just kind of read, if digital assets 50%, they exceed 50% or more of a company's total assets, and the company's operating activity resembles a digital asset treasury, that company can be excluded from MSCI global indexes. So think about the NASDAQ. If you know, you go on Wall Street in New York and they have like the NASDAQ stock exchange. That's an index, for example. A lot of these companies are these public companies that operate as a digital asset treasury, right, are listed on such indexes like the NASDAQ, right? So that's why that's important there. Like MicroStrategy, MSTR, MicroStrategy for an example, is listed on the NASDAQ. So that's why it's important. Index funds are forced to sell. So why this matters, index funds are forced to sell. Funds tracking this indices must remove these stocks. They do not get to choose. This is literally forced institutional selling. MicroStrategy becomes a primary target. So when MSTR dumps, Bitcoin reacts immediately. Like it or not, MSTR is treated as leverage, Bitcoin proxy. If the stock shows weakness, confidence drops, Bitcoin correlation increases, retail panic accelerates, liquidation starts hitting, Bitcoin falls harder. How this connects to the October 10th crash. The market was already fragile. Trump news, tariffs, a weak NASDAQ. There it is, the NASDAQ. Bitcoin is correlating to the NASDAQ now because it's being treated like a digital asset, right? It correlates more to the NASDAQ than anything now. High leverage across the board. And then fear of a 4-year. So the market was already in a fragile state as well. So when these notes dropped, it added a new type of structural risk that traders did not expect. The fear was simple. If MicroStrategy or similar companies get removed, large funds will be forced to sell. What happens to Bitcoin then? So the fear just hit, like, triggered. But then another layer, JP Morgan's timing. 3 days ago, JP Morgan published a bearish report highlighting the risks. So MicroStrategy stock was already weak. Bitcoin was weak. Liquidity was thin. It was fragile. JP Morgan, however, now the market's down and they're reporting bearish reports. Bro, I'm literally making a video right now of JP Morgan bullish headlines. Like, we have JP Morgan bullish headlines up here. Literally, JP Morgan bullish headlines at this price. Now we're literally getting JP Morgan bearish headlines down here. Isn't that it? Like, literally in the summer months, I'm making a video on it right now, and I'm showing literally when the tweets came out, when the articles came out, and the interviews in July. There's one in June. There's August and September. There's literally JP Morgan analysts talking about Bitcoin's going to 180, 160, 130. I think it could go. Then we have JP Morgan calling it useless, this, that, and then times where they're saying it's good. It's messed up, yo. It's pretty messed up. They're literally highlighting like super. JP Morgan's now bearish apparently. They're bullish up here though. We literally have like the interviews and stuff happen there, and talking good about Bitcoin. Now they're talking bad about Bitcoin again. So it begins. Brace yourself for impact. Brace yourself for impact, folks. All right, it's gonna be a crazy year. That's why I'm pretty blessed and grateful. Like I'm happy I'm not a crypto day trader. I'm happy I'm a gold day trader. I'm happy I got like, you know, some differential there, where like, because right now I think it'd be hard to trade crypto. Like, well, the sells are there. Just go with the sells. Go with the flow for a bit. Maybe that was our recovery for the next flush out. Probably gonna get another flush out. I don't want to go over crypto this session, but just want to bring up some of that stuff. Maybe next session we'll talk a little bit more about crypto though, on the next call. Gold for now, like we're coming down. Beware, it's Tuesday, so you never know. We could possibly come down to $4,100 this week. Keep an eye on that still. I'm still just gonna keep those quarters. Like if you know the quarters, you know the quarters. If you know, you know. If you know them quarters, you know. But yo, what happened to? I lost the chat. GG. Oh. Yep. Hammer. Yo. 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 No, no, I'm not. Damn, I was not. The guy thinks I'm calling him. Yeah, yo. So, there we go. I don't know what was around the chat there. No, there we go. I know people. I'm pretty sure you gotta ask the chat. You gotta ask the chat because there's people from US who trade gold. There's just different brokers with different leverage. I think it's the leverage that is one thing. Xauusd, the forex broker, like there's maybe some recommendations of things that people trade Xauusd on the chat. Futures, like you could trade gold futures. Like you're trading gold. I think there's people who are doing that. A lot of people in US are trading gold futures. There's definitely some of them in the chat. Here live for sure. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for the day. Gold's still holding 41.25, so it's created a bit of a range between 4,150 and 4,125. We may hold that range, and or the market could try to do what it did like last night in London session. Like it could try to dip below the range and just sweep more liquidity to make another move up. So either we're gonna maintain that 41.25, maybe just push up more, or get a move back to like 4,100. Or honestly, a third option would be if this thing continues up and you just see it trending, break and retest to 4,150. There's a few options here for bullish. This would be like the first option, plan A. If price just goes up, there's a break and retest potentially. But yo, I'm gonna wrap it up. That's it for today, yo. There's a few scenarios here. I'll see everybody next stream. Make sure you guys tap in. Check out the YouTube videos that are posted on the channel. If you have not seen all the YouTube videos that we've uploaded, check them out. And yeah, smash the like button, guys, before we get off. If you guys got value, if you guys enjoyed the session, I'll see everybody on the